On 26 January 2026, as fighter jets roar above Rajpath and India celebrates its Republic Day, the President of the European Union sits as the chief guest. This is not a symbolism, this is strategy. The world is not going through a crisis, it is going through a reset. China's growth is slowing after decades of dominance. The Ukraine war has shaken Europe's economy and energy security. Global supply chains broke during COVID and never fully healed. America is turning inward, becoming more protectionist. And in this fractured world, something historic is quietly taking shape. A deal so big that European leaders themselves are calling it the mother of all trade deals. The India-EU Free Trade Agreement. But why no? And why does this single deal matter to your job, your salary and your future? Let us start with Europe. The European Union is wealthy, advanced and powerful, but it has a serious problem. Its population is aging, its workforce is shrinking, and economic growth in many EU countries has fallen below 1%. For years, Europe depended heavily on China for cheap manufacturing, but that dependency is now seen as a strategic mistake. Then came the Ukraine war. Russian gas supplies collapsed, energy prices surged, and European factories struggled to survive. Europe now needs a new partner, politically stable, democratic, large-scale and future-ready. A country with a young workforce, a massive domestic market and the capacity to manufacture at scale. That country is India. Now look at India. India is young, ambitious and rising, but it faces one hard reality: jobs. Every year, more than 10 million Indians enter the workforce. Manufacturing must expand, exports must grow, and technology must move faster. Europe offers exactly what India needs right now: advanced manufacturing technology, green energy expertise, and access to high-income consumers. For India, Europe is not just another market. It's a launchpad to become global manufacturing and innovation hub. So, what exactly is a free trade agreement, FTA? Forget complex economics. An FTA simply means fewer barriers between two economies. In a daily life terms, medicines made in India becomes cheaper in Europe. European cars and machinery become more affordable in India. Indian IT companies face fewer restrictions in EU markets. Students and professionals get smoother visa pathways, and startups gain easier access to capital and consumers. Think of it as replacing locked doors with open highways, where trade moves faster, business becomes cheaper and opportunities expand. Now consider this scale. India and European Union together represent more than 2 billion people, nearly one-fourth of world's GDP. This is one of the largest combined consumer markets in human history. This deal is bigger than many of China's trade agreements and larger than most regional trade blocs. That's why during negotiations between 2022 and 2024, EU officials themselves called it the mother of all trade deals. Because if this succeeds, it will reshape global trade for decades. But let's be honest, no trade deal benefits everyone equally. India's pharmaceutical sector, IT services, export-oriented MSMEs, skilled professionals and consumers stand to gain significantly. At the same time, farmers fear competition from European agriculture. Small manufacturers worry about strict EU quality standards, and startups are concerned about data protection rules. This is not a free lunch. It requires smart negotiation and strong domestic reform. The real question is not whether India should open up, but how open it should be and on whose terms. This deal is also not just about economics, it's about power. Europe wants to reduce its dependency on China. BRICS is expanding. USA is not reliable no more. USA's stand on Greenland is quite concerning. The world is moving toward a multipolar order. For the first time, India is not merely reacting to global power shifts, it is shaping them. This agreement places India at the center of new geopolitical balance, acting as a bridge between the West, global South, and emerging economies. There is criticism too, and it is real. Europe demands strict environmental rules, strong labor standards, and tough data protection laws. India worries about sovereignty, policy space, and risk of over-regulation slowing growth. If everything goes right, That means more manufacturing jobs, higher demand for skilled workers, better salaries, cheaper and higher quality products, and more opportunities for Indians to study and work abroad. This is not about abstract GDP numbers, this is about everyday life. Every era offers one defining opportunity for Europe. This really is about survival in a changing world. For India, it is about arrival. The question is no longer whether India can integrate with the global economy. The real question is whether the world can adjust to an India that negotiates as an equal. Because the 21st century will not be written by one power alone, and this steel may decide who holds the pen. In a world searching for stability, the India-EU Free Trade Agreement asks one final question. Is this the moment India moves from being the world's workforce to becoming one of its architects? Hope it will make world better place to live. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Jai Hind.